When setting out to complete our action research project, I wanted my questions to be centered around whether violence impacted children's ability to develop both socially, linguistically, and emotionally, and also whether we could find and incorporate global successful strategies to guide these individuals and create a safe environment in which they are able to have clear expectations, even when they are reacting on what may purely be survival instinct. In my research, I analyzed one article from Science Direct that spoke in detail about the causes and effects of PTSD on a young learner's mind. They said cognitive theorists hypothesized that PTSD symptoms develop when individuals perceive their traumatic experiences to have broad implications about themselves, others, and the world, and there's little discrimination between specific traumatic experiences, memories about the trauma, and non threatening or unrelated people, places, objects, situations, and activities. This is why, if you've ever had a child who has had traumatic experiences and you've had to wake them up from napping, sometimes they may react violently and frightened, and you do not quite understand, but it's because they do not see you at the time. They strictly see their trauma. One prophet I did extensive research on, called Wadiko, has been around since 1934 and is centered up on the East Coast. They have programs that have direct services with young learners who have been exposed to instances of violence. And what they do is they kind of take the early childhood approach, and through observations, they construct and build a bridge to the individuals and their family, and they, help build a rehabilitatory situation in which these children foster a relationship and are able to talk about these experiences and work through them rather than keep them trapped inside, in which it will still manifest itself outwards, as I'm sure we've all seen. I also conducted a series of surveys and interviews in which one of my favorite questions I got a response to in the interview was, what do you see as the best method to help foster a child's growth and development once they've experienced a traumatic event of violence? My interviewee answered that first and foremost, we must seek to find ways to make those children feel secure, whether it is once again or even maybe for the first time. I think that's so powerful because it's not just the children who've had a rough life we're trying to take care of. We're trying to take care of every child, regardless of that status. And so we want to establish that kind of foundation where all the children are treated the same and they all have equal ground. My fourth question on my survey, however, touched on whether or not these educators had seen concrete delays in that child's overall learning and development. Here, I had interviewed 10 people and I got 9 yeses as opposed to just 1 no. And this is, once again, a finding that is supported by all of my research and all of the things this class kind of led us to do.